cutting across to Sunil ji, but first from Jammu. Sunil, every eye possibly on Jammu right now, because if you look at how things are stacking up, at least on the basis of the seawater exit poll, it does look that if the BJP crosses or closes in to the 30-35 mark, a fair bit of controversy with the 5 nominated members of the LG, it could very well be in a fighting position. How well will the BJP do in Jammu is the biggest question.
Absolutely, Preeti. The BJP has, set a target for itself that it wants to emerge as the single largest political party in Jammu and Kashmir after the elections. I spoke to many BJP leaders today. They were looking very confident and they were saying that they are going to touch 35 mark in Jammu region out of the 43 seats. But there is a section of BJP leaders who clearly say that even 30 is a huge target, and somehow they may be able to touch 30. But then the question arises that how is BJP going to cross the majority mark? The BJP leaders say they are going to get support of some independents and smaller parties. But will the independents and smaller parties perform well in the Kashmir Valley? That's also a big question, because Preeti, during the campaigning, the National Conference and the Congress Alliance have somehow been able to convince the people of Kashmir that that's what they feel. That's what what National Conference and Congress are propagating, that Engineer Rashid is a BJP proxy, and somehow they have been raking it up during the campaigning. And if Engineer Rashid fails to make a big cut in these assembly elections, and if independents fail to come up with a good show in Kashmir Valley, then BJP will remain far from its dream of forming its own government in Jammu and Kashmir and installing its own chief minister. As far as National Conference and Congress Alliance is concerned, the National Conference may be performing well in the Kashmir Valley, but all will depend on Congress party's performance in Jammu region. Remember, Jammu was once the bastion of the Congress party, but since 2014, Congress has lost its political ground in Jammu region. And remember, Preeti, during the last assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir, the Congress may have won 12 seats at that point of time, but the Congress party failed to win even a single Hindu majority seat. Not a single Hindu candidate of Congress party managed to win in 2014 assembly polls. This time, the Congress is hopeful that it may be able to regain some of its lost political ground, but the BJP is posing a very difficult challenge to the Congress party. So it's going to be very interesting, very fascinating. All will depend on how BJP is going to perform in Jammu region, how Congress party is going to perform in Jammu region. Preeti,
well, you're right there. And, like I said, a lot of water has flown down the Chenab, and it's 10 years since 2014 to 2024. Elections being held. Mir Farid, I want to come to you. If you look at this figure of 40 for the NC Congress combined, it explains all the politicking that has gone down in the valleys in the course of the morning. First, you have the PDP saying we are happy to support. Farooq Abdullah welcomed them and saying that we will form the government with them. And then Omar Abdullah coming out and saying, hold it, let's wait for the results.
That's right. There seems to be a difference of opinion as far as father-son duo is concerned. Farooq Abdullah talking of the bigger goal, talking of something that he thinks is beyond formation of government, that's to keep BJP away. Because according to him, Jammu and Kashmir has suffered a lot in the last 5-6 years. So to achieve the bigger goal, all like-minded players, people will have to come together. And according to him now, we know Farooq Abdullah's politics has always been about the fact that he thinks politics is an art of possibilities. And since PDP is like-minded, PDP for sure can be in a position of kingmaker, or if not a kingmaker, at least a party who, if joins, can ensure a stable government in Jammu and Kashmir. So Farooq Abdullah knows that, and he has already really sent this message across to the PDP that you're not untouchable, you can be part of the government. But Omar Abdullah obviously is not his father. He says that they'll have to wait for the next 24 hours, and once the numbers are out, then only they can discuss these things. But quite clearly, since even if we talk of exit polls, 40 to 48, yes, NC Congress, the India bloc can form a government, but it can only be stable if others join, the likes of PDP. Now, PDP obviously is a party which is in a rebuilding mode. We know post-2019 it just imploded. Leaders went away, and even if they get around 10 seats, it's a major, big achievement for the PDP. And then the next step, obviously, if they are part of the government, then there can be nothing like this. And high moral ground would be to join or to stay out of the government, support from outside, and say that they have the bigger goal of keeping BJP away. And in that process, go out to the people and say that they are not for the government, but they are there for the larger goal of saving Jammu and Kashmir. That really has been the politics of PDP in the last some time.
We'll only know a few hours to go,
combinations possible.
Yes, permutations, combination, and a lot of speculation around that. We're going to come back to you. Appreciate you joining both Sunil and Mir Farid. Just a few hours left.